talk about on this program often all the things that are happening to destroy our state, to make our state less safe, to make our state less prosperous, happening down at the state capitol, the Dome of Dummies, as I call it. And there's a bill that has caught my attention. And it should be catching your attention, and it should really, and I don't mean to speak in hyperbole, but it should scare the heebie-jeebies out of you. It is a bill, it's Senate Bill 273, and it is moving through the legislature now, and we need to talk about it. So I want to welcome into the program, if I may, Mr. Jeff Clayton. He's been on the show before, and Jeff Clayton is also watching this Senate Bill 273. And Jeff, by the way, is the director of American Bail Coalition. Jeff, welcome back to the program, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again.
Let's talk about it. 273. I'm not speaking in hyperbole. This is a bill that, if it continues its march forward, it is going to really put Colorado, make all Coloradoans a little bit less safe. Tell us the details. If Senate Bill 273 continues to march forward, it's going to make it impossible, like against the law. It's not even in the code for officers to arrest people who commit certain crimes. They won't be able to take them to jail.
Absolutely. These are the kind of ideas that are good ideas at the puzzle palace, as one lobbyist calls it. But we've got a situation where law enforcement is opposing this bill, sheriffs and chiefs of police, police unions, police officers around the state, because they're not going to be able to arrest misdemeanor cases in general. And judges are going to have to presume to release everybody on their own recognizance, meaning no posting bail, very little chance of any monitoring of conditions for all felonies 4, 5, 6, and all misdemeanor crimes in Colorado. So catch and release system coming your way.
And they hear misdemeanor people. Well, that was just a minor crime. They ran a red light. No, these are things that could be inciting a riot, engaging in a riot, obstructing a highway or a passageway as part of a riot or whatever. This could be preventing the passage to and from a healthcare facility. You could obstruct a peace officer, a firefighter, emergency medical services, trying to rescue somebody, and they won't be able to arrest you for doing that. I mean, it literally gives you a free pass. They'll give you a summons and say, you come to court at the appointed time, and if you don't show up at court, they still can't arrest you.
Absolutely, and there are some serious crimes that we're talking about, misdemeanors, and the legislature's been downgrading felonies to misdemeanors for the last 15 years. So things we grew up with as felonies are misdemeanor crimes. You know, a good example, it's arrestable but not bailable, presumed free bail, are hate crimes. Class 1 misdemeanor is threatening to harm somebody because of their race or sexual orientation. Beating somebody up because of their race is a Class 4 felony, or Class 5 felony, which is a presumptive free bail. And if you do it with your friend, it's a Class 4 presumptive free bail. So, we're talking about not low-level crimes, and that's what this bill is being sold by the ACLU as. We're just going to touch some low-level crimes. But, manslaughter, vehicular homicide, these are not low-level crimes.
They also, Senate Bill 273, you got it, Northern Colorado especially, wherever you're listening, you need to know who your state rep is. And you need to know that in Northern Colorado, Kathy Kipp, Joanne Ganal are usually puppets for this type of radical legislation. You better let Kathy Kipp and Joanne Ganal know this is a bridge too far, and you want Northern Colorado to stay safe. You need to call them out by name, call their phone, call their office, go to their website, and say it's time that they jump off the radical, progressive, crazy train that they're on and start kind of figuring out the real world that most of us live in, and these are not minimal crimes that they're going to do. Now, the people arguing for this, Jeff Clayton is my guest, and he's the executive director of American Bail Coalition, and again, talking about Senate Bill 273 in Colorado. Jeff, Jeff Clayton, they say, well, we're just trying to keep some of these petty criminals from getting into the system and into the jails early on, and there's no need to ruin their whole life by locking them up. These are just minor things they do. And they say, it's kind of the old argument, they're doing it for the children. They're doing it for the good of just helping people out. Give me your response to that, because they say they're being very humanitarian by really kind of doing this, keeping people out of jail.
Yeah, they're really not, because they're keeping the wrong people out. I mean, the people that are staying in are the ones that judges are saying, no, you've done it so many times. A study in New York found that people that don't post bail, on average, had 6 prior felony arrests and 4 prior failures to appear. So they're 10 strikers by the time they have to post the bail. So the people that are going to benefit are going to be the repeat criminals. And frankly, Senator Janal from up north didn't buy it. She actually voted against this bill. And so she was the only one, and I'm sure, her caucus is not happy with her, but she wasn't buying this. And unfortunately, 19 of the senators did.
Yeah. So it's gone through the Senate, and tell us where in the process this thing is at now. It's Senate bill, and congratulations. I do want to give credit where credit is due because I go after Joanne Ganal quite heavily on this program, and congratulations, Ms. Ganal, for voting the correct way, and that is against Senate Bill 273. So I want to make sure that I clearly and duly note that Joanne Ganal did vote the correct way, and I know a lot of listeners contacted her because I got responses, but I'm glad to hear she voted the correct way. 273, where does it go now? It's passed the Senate.
Yep, it's passed the Senate, so it's going to go to the House Judiciary Committee tomorrow upon adjournment of the House, which is an unknown time when they get off the House floor. I expect there to be heavy opposition from the sheriffs, the chiefs, many other community leaders, perhaps some mayors and judges. It'll be a long night if they decide to go through with the hearing tomorrow. Once that happens, it's got to get through the Appropriations Committee, and then it'll go to the House floor, and we'll see what the governor does if it ever lands on his desk.
Now, generally, the state House is a little bit more progressive than the state Senate. It seems like if this was going to get stopped, it would have stopped in the Senate. Am I reading this wrong, or you think there's still a chance to stop it in the House?
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at it based on the pure vote count, you would say, well, the Senate might have been a better chance for it to be defeated. That said, I think, there's some independent-minded thinking folks in the House. You've got, law enforcement from all four corners of the state against this thing, and, that's a significant thing to go back to your communities and say, well, all the chiefs of police in your district and all the sheriffs in your district are against this, and you voted for it. That's a hard sell, and it better be a good story, and right now it's not.
Yeah. Kathy Kipp is, for many of you in northern Colorado, and Fort Collins especially, that is your person. You have a lot of other Republicans up there that I'm sure are against it. Kathy Kipp is a Democrat, and she tends to go along with a lot of this stuff. Maybe she will go the path of Joanne Ganal and vote against this. We don't know, but northern Colorado, make sure you reach out to your state rep. It's out of the Senate. Get it to the state reps and let them know that it should be no on 273. Jeff Clayton, we're not making any of this stuff up. I'm sure that the people can just kind of Google the bill, find it, and if they want to learn more about American Bail Coalition and follow, how do they do that?
Yeah, you go to ambailcoalition.org or check us out on Twitter and Facebook. You can also Google the bill, and you can testify virtually against it if you'd like to do that. You can go on the Senate or the House's website, sign up, and testify by WebEx. And let the legislators know how you feel about the bill.
All right. If nothing else, my friends, make some call. Jeff Clayton, my guest, executive director of American Bail Coalition. One more time, Jeff, give your website, sir.
It's ambailcoalition.org.
You got it. I appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks for coming on the program. And this interview will be up at jimmylakey.com in just a matter of moments. And you need to make sure you share it to the world because that hearing is tomorrow, which will be Thursday, down to the State House.